So thank you for the opportunity. Good afternoon, Mr. Wijaya and my friends. So today I will explain about analyzing this article. So the title of this article about incorporating local culture in English teaching material for undergrad student. So before that, I will explain. I would like to introduce myself. My name is Nimade Divya Amelia Maharani. I'm from class B and I'm 15. The absent. So today we have explained about the third. The first is introduction, and the second is discussion, and the last is conclusion. So for the first, introduction. So for this article, in introduction, I analyzing about teaching material in an integral part of teaching and learning process. It plays a vital role in improving student achievement and motivation in learning. And a good material may become the typing point which decides the result of learning. And a good teaching material will be able not only to facilitate student learning process, but also in this article talk about provide enjoyment for the student. So before we next, this article we have the abstract. So for the abstract, in this paper discuss about incorporation of local culture material and teaching material developed for the student of the Hinduism Education Department of IHDN Denpasar. Teaching material plays an important part in teaching learning process, yet inappropriate teaching material may become more harmful than useful. So the unique nature of the HAD student and then student want to need for a tailor-made teaching material. The study found that the use of culturally familiar material is beneficial for the student learning process. So the result of the study also highlight student need and prior knowledge as the main factors to be considered when developing teaching material. So it's about abstract this article and introduction. For the next, it's discussion. So for this discussion, I analyzing about discussion in this article. The study was designed and conducted as research development study using simplified version of the ADDIE development model by Dick and Carey 13. The object of this study, the study was to develop English teaching material for the student of the Hinduism Education Department of IHDN Denpasar. The subject of the study were the 82 students of the first semester from 1A and AD 1B at the Denpasar campus. In developing the material, there were 4 phases of development. The first is the blueprint phase. So first the blueprint, and the second is the draft writing phase, and the third is the draft testing phase, and the fourth is the final production phase. So in this about the discussion, in this discussion for the first is blueprint phase, the observing the teaching learning process and the exciting material to identify the weakness of the exciting material. And then during the blueprint phase, it was found that the exciting material had 3 main weaknesses. The first weakness was the topic of the new material was written by observing the blueprint and then refined to the expert on English teaching and religion education to be refined. So I think that's the my analyzing about the discussion. So the next it's about conclusion. So for the conclusion, I analyzing about this article. The conclusion talk about the incorporation of local culture material helps the student in learning English. The use of cultural material has decreased the foreign nuance of the material, and then it reduce the stress level of the student due to the familiarity of the material, and then the result of the study confer the notion that a culturally familiar material will help students in learning foreign language. It is recommended for other researchers to also incur the effectiveness of culturally familiar material compared to less culturally familiar material in teaching English in different level of learning. I think that's the about the conclusion.
Based on the above explanation, it can be concluded that the incorporation of local culture material helps the student in learning English. The use of cultural material has decreased the foreign nuance of the material, and then it's the reduce the stress level of the student. So I think it's about this article. So thank you for the attention about this analyzing about this article. The title this article about incorporating local culture in English teaching material for undergraduate students. So